Hey, buddy. How you doing? Don't talk to me right now.
Wow. You have to get up, do what they do. But that was insane. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Come on! I make go records, baby. I'm liking this.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Hawks Recap. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. Blackhawks just completed their 50th game of the season. That's right, the big 5-0. And they get a big 5 goals in this one for their 5th straight victory. That's right, they get the win at home over the Winnipeg Jets. Speaking of the number 5, not only is 50 a multiple of it, but there was another multiple of the number 5 that occurred in this game. If you go high enough, you'll find the number 1,000, which is now officially the amount of points that Patrick Kane has in his career. What a great moment. What a lovely little mathematical evening. So the Hawks come into this game riding a 4-game winning streak and playing some pretty decent hockey. Now, they got those 4 wins from playing the Ducks and then 3 Canadian Eastern Conference teams. It's one thing to get wins against, out of division opponents and out of conference opponents, but it's another thing to beat divisional rivals. And so the Hawks were looking to do that in this game, playing the Winnipeg Jets, not only a divisional rival, but a team that is basically right above the Hawks in the standings, another team really in the wild card hunt. So a win in this game, or just any sort of result in this game, had a lot of implications to it. It was an important game for a variety of reasons. So Robin Lehner in net for the Hawks, back end of the back-to-back. Corey Crawford played last night, going against Connor Hellebuyck and a Jets team that got absolutely walloped by the Lightning 7-1 in their previous game. You figured that the Jets would be coming out with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove, some extra motivation in this one. The Hawks needed to come out and start fast. And I would argue that the Hawks started fast enough. Not quite 3 minutes into the game, the Blackhawks with the puck in the offensive zone. Gustafsson with it at the point, puts a shot on net. Alexander Nylander with that net front presence I so very much like. And, he decides to be a goalie for a little bit and stops the puck. Connor Hellebuyck just absolutely bamboozled at this moment. Nylander playing some 4D chess, decides to return to being a scorer, takes it around Hellebuyck and puts it into the empty net. Seriously, though, those are really tough for goalies to stop. It's just not something they expect to happen. You just expect the puck to get to you. But who cares? Hawks up 1-0. It would be a pretty even first period after that, but the Hawks would find a way to capitalize on their chances once again with just under 6 minutes left to play in that opening frame. Blackhawks with the puck in the offensive zone, tracking down some loose pucks. Highmore with some great effort to get a puck in the corner. Gets to Nylander, who gets it back to Gustafsson. Highmore gets his butt to the front of the net, that net front presence that I so very much like. Gustafsson puts a shot on net. Now, here's where things change. Highmore doesn't really have the same strategy that Nylander has. He decides to let the puck go through, but he has that screen in front of Hellebuyck, takes away his eyes. The puck goes bar and in, and the Hawks are up 2-0 going into the second period. So the Blackhawks have the dreaded worst lead in hockey, but at least they have a lead, unlike another team I had to watch tonight. But we won't talk about that. Blackhawks up 2-0 in the second period, and I would have to say that second period was quite the war of attrition. Blackhawks shorthanded many a times in that second frame. Penalty kill unit had to come up large, and they did. They killed off all the penalties. Blackhawks PK unit was 5 for 5 in this game and was a big reason the Hawks were able to extend their winning streak tonight. Unfortunately, despite the stellar play out of their PK unit, the Hawks would end up giving up a goal in that second period with just under 2 minutes left to play in that middle frame. Robin Lehner gives up a rebound. Scheifele right there puts it home, and it's a 2-1 game. And although it sucks giving up a goal that late in the period like that, with the amount of times the Hawks were shorthanded, it kind of only seemed fair that the Jets got a goal. Nevertheless, Hawks still up 2-1 going into the third period. Now, you expect the Jets to come out strong after scoring a goal late in that second period, but the Hawks would play a solid game in the third. Robin Lehner was solid. The defense was solid. The offense was also solid. They weren't just kind of sitting back. They were still going for points, partly because it was only a 1-goal game, and it's not a safe lead by any stretch of the imagination, but also because Patrick Kane still needed to get his 1,000th point. And not quite halfway through the third period, the Blackhawks would get a goal, but not Patrick Kane's 1,000th point. Kirby Dach with the puck, racing up the left-hand side. Power move towards the net, puts a puck on Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck saves it, but he fails to freeze it in front of him, has trouble covering it up. Kampf is right there, and he puts it into the back of the net, and the Hawks get a little bit of insurance and are now up 3-1. Now, at this point, you could tell that Patrick Kane really wanted to get his 1,000th point. He was pushing for it. He already had a number of really good opportunities. None more better than one he had in the second period, which, just take a look at it. I thought for sure it was going to be his 1,000th point. I mean, it was vintage Patrick Kane. There wouldn't have been a better, more perfect play for him to get his 1,000th point on, but it wasn't meant to be. But thankfully, his effort would be rewarded, and with just under 6 minutes left to go in the game, the milestone would happen. Blackhawks on the forecheck in the offensive zone. Jets trying to break out, but Gustafsson with a great keep at the blue line. Puck gets to Patrick Kane behind the net, and he throws it out front to Carpenter, who makes a nice touch pass over to Brandon Saad on the back post, who has a wide open net, and he puts it in. A tic-tac-toe play for Patrick Kane's 1,000th point of his career. Brandon Saad picks up the puck. The entire bench coming out to celebrate with Patrick Kane. What a great moment. What a lovely moment. It's actually kind of funny. Jonathan Toews had to clear that up with the officials beforehand to make sure that a penalty wouldn't be called for the bench clear to celebrate. Otherwise, Drake Caggiula probably would have got called for a penalty again. But thankfully that didn't happen. And the Hawks up 4-1. And essentially have put this game out of reach with a great milestone moment. Patrick Laine would end up scoring a goal with just over 2 minutes left to go, but then Dominik Kubalik would get his 10th goal in 8 games with an empty netter to finish this game off. 5-2 victory for the Hawks, 5th straight win in their 50th game. Hawks PK was 5 for 5. I mean, seriously, 5s are wild. What a great win. So the Blackhawks have 1 game left before the All-Star break, and they get to play the Florida Panthers at home, which means it is the return of Coach Q to the United Center. Gotta imagine that they'll have a nice tribute video for him during the game, and with Patrick Kane scoring his 1,000th point in this game, you gotta imagine they're gonna have a little pre-game ceremony before the game too. I mean, seriously, just perfect timing for this whole thing. And wouldn't it be perfect if the Hawks went into the break with a 6-game winning streak? Now that would be great. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite Patrick Kane moment of all his 1,000 points. Let me know which one was your favorite. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.